If your daughter wants to marry a man you despise, should you see to it that your estate skips a generation? I will disinherit my daughter if she marries this man, says an unhappy father to the Moneyologist Quentin Fottrell, who is here to help us puzzle this out. Hi, Quentin.
Hello.
So this reader vigorously dislikes his daughter's fiancé. I believe he says he finds him repulsive even, which is very strong language. Do we know why exactly?
He says that he's been disrespectful. He refers to their lifestyles. He's 24, his daughter is 20. He doesn't respect their life choices. So whatever that might be, he calls him a thief and a coward because he sent an invitation and he didn't accept it to meet. And they did ask for this father's hand in marriage, and he declined. He refused to give it.
He refused. Okay, so this is not a pretty situation.
No.
And he is proposing skipping his daughter's generation and making something, putting aside something for whatever grandchildren may come out of this union.
Right.
But disinheriting his daughter and her potential husband.
Right. He doesn't want any money to go to the daughter.
Will that work?
Well,
can he
definitely the husband.
Definitely to the husband, right. So, but can he put aside money that would only go to the grandchildren?
He can set up trusts.
Right.
For when they arrive.
Yes.
And there are certain limits to how much money you can give without incurring certain taxes. Money that you set aside for education, for example, is usually exempt from gift tax, so that's positive.
That is good.
Yes. When it comes to things like, it's trickier when it comes to other things, like say he has the family home and they decide to live in it after he passes away, his daughter and her husband. That, depending on what state you live in, that could be deemed marital property.
I see.
Yes.
And what happens to these trusts if he does pass away before the children are of age?
So, this is trickier because assets that you leave to your grandchildren, your children will be guardians of those assets.
Right.
So he can protect those assets in a trust, but it does become trickier when there's no real 100% safeguard for this kind of situation when you have so many different types of assets that you want to leave your grandchildren but not leave your children.
Absolutely. But you did say that this could work out for him financially as well. You didn't.
Yes.
You said this is not a bad idea to leave money for
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Put money in a trust and safeguard it for your grandchildren, and if you have
the tax implications are favorable. But let's talk really quickly about the relationship part, because if he does this, totally cuts out his daughter, doesn't he risk completely alienating her and ending whatever relationship he still has with her?
Yeah, I feel like he feels that his potential son-in-law has been very controlling or manipulative, but I feel like he's unwittingly been quite controlling himself. He cannot control the situation.
No. So
the invitation that he extended to his son-in-law, invitations are usually extended with goodwill.
Yes.
So the guy is 24. I can understand that he was too afraid to accept.
Especially if it's so clear that her father does not like him.
Right.
It does seem like she's caught between a controlling father and a controlling potential husband.
Right.
But in the father's defense, I will say, I don't know the particular situation of this family, but I've had lots of friends who come from wealthy families who maybe are a bit naive and have been a bit preyed upon by some beaux with rather dubious intentions.
Right.
So we don't know all the facts in this case.
We don't know all the facts.
Right.
So that's important. And he has sought out counseling with his wife to try and navigate the situation, which shows that he is trying to take responsibility, and he knows that he doesn't want this to go nuclear and to destroy the relationship with his daughter. But we have said before, I quoted a psychologist on this program, that over-control leads to lack of control. And in that situation before, we were talking about a jar of cookies.
Right.
But I think that applies in this situation too.
And trying to control family members with money rarely works out well.
Right.
We've seen. Quentin Fottrell, thank you so much for that.